Genesis 2 is finally here. A wealth of new patches with bugs to come. And Fast Flyers for console is finally here. You're right kids, it's Ross Clark and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around and let's get into it. It's here. Genesis 2 is finally upon us. It dropped eventually to all platforms. PS4, PS5, Xbox of course got it first, and PC was with some delay. More importantly, the trailer was delayed, which is such a shame because the trailer is magnificent. If you've not seen it yet, it really is a love letter to the map and of course ARK in general, wrapping up everything we need to know about Genesis really in this trailer. It's worth a watch. And it's a shame it didn't come until after the game was released on console. Of course, so much content was already pushed out there. I called it. I did believe the trailer was the cause of the delay, and it must have been. The fact that the trailer came out after launch means it has to be related to why it was delayed. However, there were even more delays following this, my word. After it being initially delayed from December to March, there has been several delays to get to where we are now. And I'll get to those in just a moment, but can we just appreciate Genesis 2 is here, my word! And it is such a great map. Obviously, as you've probably noticed, I've been busy pumping the content out. Sadly on the PS5, so I couldn't use my voice, but now I am back. I'm back on Steam, we finally got it on PC eventually. And it is such a wondrous map, offering new opportunities, metas, takes on the ARK that we know now. In such an inventive map. The devs did actually drop a formal post on this, but they haven't put this anywhere, so nobody's seen this unless you've been on the website. And it pretty much just sums up ARK Genesis Part 2 in general. It's a blurb to give it a nice full description about what it is. I won't read it all for you, I'm not going to do that. But to sum up, Gen Part 2 is a vast world teeming with strange biomes and exotic creatures, whilst engaging in story-orientated missions, which there are that are actually related to the story this time. I'm going to get into those soon, that test your metal, ingenuity and survival skills, building an array of powerful new tames, items, weapons and structures. And the biomes are actually huge. They're bigger than some people think. Initially, I thought when I first saw the ship that was it, but no, that's only one half, and I called it, there's a space biome. Yes, you can explore space technically. And you're going to want to. There's a lot of cool things there that you're going to need if you want to take in everything Genesis 2 has to offer. They then go on to talk about the missions a little bit, where you can now use the hexagon points from those to buy engram points, which is insane. It really is. And it'll be great to know, is there a limit to how many engrams you can buy, or is that it? You can now max out your engrams. Of course, there's this new mutagen, which plays a big part. It's not quite what I thought it was going to be, sadly, but it's a big deal. And I'll be covering that more in depth very soon. I did a showcase of all the new creatures that came out. I'm going to go into those more in depth very soon as well, including the very OP, in my opinion, the Noglin. I think this is almost broken. From what I'm understanding reports from you, the Noglin can bypass turrets and control whatever it wants and kill whatever it wants. I think the Noglin needs a nerf, but I want to give it a vigorous test, and I will do very soon. Astrodelphis, I called it. Astrodelphis is by far my favourite creature. I think it's a wicked, awesome flyer that does some very cool stunts. And it's going to make for some great dogfights. I'm looking forward to it. And it is certainly such a roster of new things that have come to ARK. It's certainly going to keep a lot of us busy playing this game for a while. Of course, if you've seen the trailer, spoiler warning, there is something surrounding Vin Diesel. I won't tell you exactly what it is, but obviously ARK have been putting it on their main Twitter page and it's in the trailer. Something is going down with Mr. Vin Diesel, aka Santiago, in this game. If you've not seen the ending, I will save that for you to watch and enjoy yourself. I do have a video on that, however. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check that out. Now, of course, the launch, it didn't go as smoothly as we all anticipated. 1 PM came the time when we was all ready and waiting for this map to drop, and it didn't come. Insert a few minutes later, Dolly, the product manager, gave us a quick update saying they're coming, bear with, and they did. Within half an hour to an hour following that, PS4, PS5, Xbox, all console platforms got the new map. But Steam didn't. Steam, we was all sitting there, we was all waiting, what's going on? Nothing dropping. So Insert said a few hours later, said there was an issue on Steam. that they will hopefully resolve soon, and they are also looking into some instability issues with PlayStation players. Fast forward a few hours later, and said mentioned that it was a network connection thing and not a bad build thing. Network engineers were working through it and they'll keep us updated. It eventually came about 6-7 hours after console, which, yes, it's certainly a surprise that console got this before the other platforms. We all believed it was surrounding Microsoft's certification process, as the devs said, but Microsoft actually got this first. In fact, if you didn't catch my last video yesterday, they actually got a pre-download before the game actually came out. Although it's not the first time, I believe it was Genesis Part 1 that actually got the Xbox version first before PC and PlayStation. But now, of course, the console platforms got them first, which is why I did all of my content on my PS5 yesterday and had no voice to share with you because I hadn't got my mic set up, so apologies for that. But we're back here, we're back on voice work, we're talking. Patches, big patches, lots of patches, all the patches. PC got a huge patch, and probably somewhat due to the reason why it was delayed, maybe not. Epic settings on your PCs. If you've got super duper PCs, you can have a little bump up on your visuals to improve them. There's also an enhanced max view distance mode in your single player settings, so you can see further and wider. Also, if you didn't encounter it, I did. Originally, if you watched the intro cinematic, that was it, was done. You couldn't watch it anymore. It happened to me, I was gutted, but now they've got a setting within single player, so you can now turn that on and watch it to your heart's content. They've got some huge new changes to this one, that you can copy the dino settings to nearby dinos, adding to multi-use wheels on creatures, allowing you to efficiently manage your creatures even more. The big one, the ferox bug, everybody has been asking for. So many people have been frustrated with the ferox bug that happened on single player. Of course, it disappearing all the time. It is now working, apparently. There was a huge exploit with mechs. There were invincible mechs walking the earth and really dampening this launch. However, they fixed that. An exploit with the mana, I wasn't aware of that. Ferox will now display stats for both of its forms. Enforcers can now climb walls by holding down shift, similar to a Bloodstalker. They now changed how Enforcers climb walls. Cryofridges are now paintable. You can now paint cryofridges any colour you want, pink, green, blue, whatever you want to do. Taxidermies can now have hairstyles, so it's about time. You can now put your magnificent throws on those taxidermies. The tech helmet multi-use wheel has been moved on keyboard to R. The training dummy can now be equipped with armour, so you can now get a precise DPS on what you're going to hit somebody with that level of armor with, which is insane, which I think that's a really good thing to have. More mesh holes have been fixed, so if you're one of those in a rat hole, get out quick. There's an all passive flea whistle now, which is pretty good. move, duck and cover. And there's some new server configurations. Of course, if you don't know, Wildcard attempted to nerf a lot of hexagon based stuff in preparation for Gen 2, including hexagon rewards and hexagon costs. And if you're on unofficial, you can change all of these yourself. So of course you've got hex store, allow only engram trade option equals true, only allows engrams to be sold on the hex store. Base hexagon reward multiplier allows you to score more rewards on specific servers. Hexagon cost multiplier allows you to scale the hexagon cost of items in the hexagon store and disable the hexagon store. Pretty cool configs. You need to put these in your game.ini if you're not aware. Unofficials, great thing for you, especially if you're boosted and you want to earn more hexagon points per mission. It's a great thing to have. Now, console players, you might be saying, hang on a minute, we didn't get all of these. Well, you didn't, but you got something so much more special. Fast Flyers is here on console, finally, after months and months of waiting. It's finally here. And it's simple to do. All you need to do is scroll down to your general single player settings, and there is now a tick box, allow flyer speed leveling. That's all you need to do. Tick it on and off in single player. There is a code for unofficials. I'll get to that in just a minute. Sadly, of course, the dedicated server issues are still there. You can't host a dedicated server for Gen 2, nor Gen 1, nor Crystal Isles, which are apparently coming through with this PS5 upgrade. It's not here yet. There's no news surrounding it. I've got a theory that it's going to come out in about a month's time. Go check out that video, link in the description. And hopefully we do. It's a bit sucky that we can't host dedicated servers for Gen 2. It needs some attention very, very soon. A lot of people are probably disgruntled that they can't host dedicated servers, at least on PlayStation and any Xbox version apart from the best one. And here it is. Here's the code: allow flyer speed leveling equals true, that you can put in your game.ini. That's all you need to do. Your flyers can now be leveled in speed on unofficials if you want to do that, and hark back to a time of old, like in the legacy days. Speaking of cheat codes, Dolly, the product manager, put out a tweet with a link to every Gen 2 spawn command. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. The devs have never done this before, and it's kind of putting a lot of YouTubers out of a job because a lot of them put the work in to find out what these cheat codes are, and there you go. No need now. You've got them there for your use, so go check it out if you want to spawn anything you want. And yes, bugs are coming. I can hear a few things coming through the woodwork. I've heard a few complaints, a few things that are OP, a few things that are broken. It's going to happen. Said says there will no doubt be some bugs and issues that need to be patched, and we'll deal with the urgent ones quickly. It's going to happen. It's happened with every map, but in fact, it's better than previous map launches, I've got to say. Extinction was a broken launch. It really was a terrible launch due to some bugs that would crash the servers. Gen wasn't too bad, but there were a few broken things that came out. And so far, Gen 2 doesn't look too bad, but I'm sure as the day goes on and people start uncovering new things, new ways to use creatures and tools, exploits will appear. One big one I've just found out, credit to Epic in my Discord, is you can fire with a tech bow underwater. You can set stuff on fire underwater with your tech bow, which is just phenomenal. There you go. Here's him shooting it with a tech bow. He's going to bring up a fire arrow in a minute, and it is pretty insane. The trank arrow, I've got to say, is a great thing. I think it's great, but there we go. You can now set stuff on fire underwater with a tech bow. Have at it. And that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this. Comment below if you did. Sorry for this new sort of format. It's just to quickly rush these out as there's so much content to get out at the moment, but I will return to the normal style of content if you prefer that. If you do, let me know. I do want to know which type of news reporting you prefer. And of course, I am back on proper in-depth, decent edited guides. Everything done yesterday, it was sadly off my PS5. I was limited to what I could do there, but let's get some proper vids out now. They're coming. I can't wait to show off what I know about this absolutely insane map. My name's Ross Clark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And as always, peace out.